Good morning. Today is a wonderful day, and this weekend we can say. Yesterday it was Akshaya Tritiya, and you know the tradition of the Hindus. The Akshaya Tritiya means whatever you do, good or bad, it becomes completely permanent, eternal. So most of the people, they try to do something good by giving the donation or taking the name of God in maximum time, meditation, visiting the holy places. So all these things, that becomes permanent. And if by mistake some bad things happen, that also becomes permanent. So that is the wonderful way they say. There's a story in the Matsya Purana that one Brahmin was a very difficult person. He never appreciated anyone, never gave anything, never helped like this. One day, one hungry person came to him and said, "I am so hungry, I will die if I don't eat. Please give me something." But even then, he was asking him to go away. "Die, what is there? You go away. I am not going to give you anything." But his wife, she told, "No, it cannot be. You must feed him. He is so hungry." So she fed him, and that particular day was Akshaya Tritiya. So naturally, all the merits, it become eternal, and after the death, they say the story goes like this, that the Brahmin went to Yamaraja and the Brahmin's wife went to Vishnu. Vishnu Loka is very good, so she told the Vishnu, "What have I done that I have come to you, but my husband has gone to Yama? Now you did this thing, you fed the Brahmana, you gave him the clothes, and also gave all the services, and the merit is eternal, so you have come to me. But your husband didn't do that." Then she argued, "But as a wife, I am half of my husband. Ardhangini, in Sanskrit they say, I am half of my husband. So whatever good thing that I have done, give half to my husband." And then with that, her husband also came to Vishnu Loka. So that story goes in this way. If you do something good, and sometimes the people, they say that Draupadi, when the Draupadi was in a difficult position, difficult situation, nobody was helping her, then she was praying to Krishna. Krishna asked her, "Have you given any piece of cloth to someone who was in difficulty?" "And I gave to a Brahman, I gave that cloth." Then it was that particular day, Akshaya Tritiya, so the supply of clothing became eternal. There's the inspiration to do something good on that particular time and day. And this particular day, Ganga Avataran, the Bhagiratha brought the Ganga, and also the Dakshineshwar Kali temple was inaugurated on that day, Akshaya Tritiya. So it was yesterday. In American calculation, yesterday, Saturday, was the Akshaya Tritiya, but today is also a twice blessed day, because today is the Tithi Puja of Shankaracharya, and also today is the same, the birth centenary of Ramanujacharya. The Shankaracharya and Ramanujacharya both were born on this particular day, the 30th April. Of course, the year are different. So today we will try to, mainly we will stress on Shankaracharya, and also we will try to understand Ramanujacharya. And when we will discuss the philosophy of Vedanta in the regular course, that is Saga of the Soul, we will discuss in details. But today only comparison and try to understand about this. Now let me recite from a wonderful poem about the Shankaracharya. Kuruna borunalaya palaya mam bhavashagara dukkha vidura hridam rachaya khila darshana tattabidam bhavashankara deshika me sharanam bhavashankara deshika me sharanam. You are the ocean of mercy, Karuna Varunalaya Palaya Mam. You are the ocean of mercy, please protect me. Palaya, protect. Mam, me. Please protect me from the sea of samsara. Where from the to protection? From the sea of samsara. What is the samsara? That constantly changing. That is samsara. Anything that is changing comes to samsara. Because the definition of samsara is samyak sarati ya sa samsara. Usually the moment we say samsara, immediately a household, a family. It's not. Anything that is changing, that comes to the samsara. Right from the sun and the moon and all things that we see. That is called samsara. Please protect me from that temporary thing. Why this protection? Because the more I go to that, ultimately I have to come back again and again. I have to suffer the birth and death circle. It goes on and on and on. So naturally, those who have understood the folly of this, they want to go beyond. So they are praying, please protect me from the sea of samsara, which has tormented my heart. You are the knower of the supreme truth, revealed in all Upanishads. And about the Shankara say, Deshikam. Deshikam means the knower of all the truths that has been revealed, realized by the rishis and expressed in the Upanishads. So what is the truth? Truth is one and there is no two. So that is the whole thing, that you have understood that. May you become my refuge, O Shankara. I am taking the refuge at you. What is that refuge? And sometimes there are two different ways of looking at things. One is devotion, another is jnana, discrimination. Why I am taking the refuge at Shankara? Knowledge. So please bless me so that I too can develop that knowledge. And through the system that I have to go, I will follow, but I want to take refuge. That means I am accepting your philosophy. I am accepting your path. That is. So this is the Shankara, and I was just trying to compare the Shankara and Ramanuja. Shankara was born in 786 AD. Almost, and then he passed away 820 AD. Only 34 years he lived. But Ramanujacharya, he was born 1017, exactly 2017. Now it is 1017 years, and he passed away 1137. That means 120 years he lived. Now you have to choose jnana or bhakti. Whether the path of jnana, the life is short, and the path of bhakti, you can live 120 years. And he was born in Sri Perumbudur, that is in Tamil Nadu in India. Ramanuja was born in Sri Perumbudur. And Shankara was born in Kaladi, that is the Malabar Kerala, that's also in India, almost very near both the states are, we call it southern states. And these great minds, they came from the south, but I don't know why. Most of the people from the south are so ritualistic. That is very unique. They are so ritualistic. But the eastern side, if you see, the people are devotional. Our spiritual leaders were all devotional, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But the eastern side are all very, very they're discriminative. They will be discussing, why should I have to go to mandir, why should I have to do this, why should I have to do that? All the time, why is always there on the lip. Moment you ask, immediately why. And this is the characteristics, but anyway, that is a different thing. But this was, then his father, Shankara's father's name was Shiva Guru, and mother was Arya. The story goes like this: the Shiva Guru and Arya, they were praying for a son to the Lord Shiva, as usually they always say they were praying to. And then Shiva appeared and said, okay, I can bless you, but now your choice. Do you want someone who will live for a long time, but of no use, very ordinary? But some other, I can bless you, a very, very excellent son, but he will live only for a few years. Now you choose. Then both the parents thought it is better to have an excellent, very knowledgeable, and who will be very famous son, even though he is short-lived. So Shiva blessed, Shankara was born, and the first age was 14 years. Within 14 years he will die. But then afterwards, the mother and the father, they prayed, and also the gods, they wanted to help the Shankara because his knowledge should be in this world to save the humanity. So it was extended, and he passed away in 34 years of age. So this is, and Ramanuja's father was Somya, we can say, Eso, Emo, Vaye, and mother was Kantimati. And you know that in South India, they won't say Kanti, Tha. That stress is there, Kanti, Mati. So Kantimati. And here our pronunciation, as because I am from different place, Kantimati. But anyway, this Soumya and Kantimati, they were the parents of the Ramanuja. They also prayed for a son, but with devotion, and they prayed to Vishnu. So one is Shiva. Shiva is the renouncer. He is the knowledge, and this is Vishnu. This is the devotion. So both the sons are there, and their differences. But the first teacher to whom the Ramanuja went is the Yadava Prakash. Yadav Prakash was a very famous interpreter of Vedanta. He wrote commentary on the Brahma Sutras and also explained in his own way, but the commentary is lost, this Brahma Sutra commentary of the Yadava. And Bheda Abheda Bada, the unity in diversity, in difference, the Veda and Abheda. Abheda, there is no difference. Bheda, there are differences. So we see so many differences, but it is actually one. The Bheda, Abheda, Bada. In the modern times, it is so easy to explain. We see so many different varieties of lights, and the bulbs are different, colors are different, all things are different, but at the same time, they are one, electricity. So that is the way, Veda Aveda, though you see so many varieties of people, a different type of people, name, fame are all different, but within each and every one of them, one thing is very common, that is Atman. We call it life or soul. So that is the Veda Aveda, and that is afterwards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also explained this, that this he explained. Ramanuja was a very, very brilliant student, and he started studying under him, and then suddenly he started, after a few years, he started explaining in his own way. So which was not according to his guru, according to his teacher. He was explaining in his own way, and sometimes the other students, they used to like his explanation, Ramanuja's explanation. So naturally the teacher, he didn't like it. And there's a story that says that Ramanuja developed some occult power. So the king's daughter was sick. This Yadava Prakash was invited to do something for that. Yadava Prakash went, he tried, he failed. Then they invited Ramanuja. Ramanuja went and cured that girl. So obviously king also became his followers, which was impossible for the Yadava Prakash to accept. So they separated. Then Ramanuja came back to his mother, and he started a householder's life after marrying a girl of his own choice. But that never gave him the peace, because inside the mind it was totally different. Attitude was there. So one day he went to head up Sri Rangam temple. The Sri Rangam temple, his name was Yamuna. He was going on requesting Ramanuja, sending the request to Ramanuja to come to him. Why? Because he understood that Ramanuja is the next person after him. So he was going on asking Ramanuja to come, accept that position of the head of that particular temple, and also to write and commentary on Brahma Sutra. Friends, you know, it's a very, very important book for the Hinduism, the Brahma Sutras. The Sutras means aphorisms. And about the Brahman, the Veda always talk about the Brahman. What is that Brahman? It is all pervading consciousness. And you have to explain in your own way to establish your philosophy. If the consciousness is everywhere, then what we are? First, if we are conscious, then why this body, when die, cannot move? If the consciousness is everywhere, if the consciousness is all the time present, then what happened to this body? Same thing happened to Shankara's life. The Shankara explained this, consciousness is everywhere, everything is nothing but consciousness. Then next day when he was going to bathe in the Ganga in Kashi and Benares, and he saw that one lady is sitting with her dead husband. And you know that in the Kashi, the small lanes, very narrow lanes, and the dead body was lying in such a way you have to jump over that. That was not possible. So Shankara asked that lady, can you please remove the dead body? The lady told, why don't you ask the dead body to move? And naturally, Shankara told, I can understand, mother, because of this thing that your husband is dead now, you have lost all the common senses, dead body cannot move. But you were, last evening, you were giving the lecture where you told everything is consciousness. Why not the dead body? Immediately Shankara understood this lady is not ordinary. So he started praying, and it became like this. The Shiva and the Shakti, they were there. Shankara was learning from his experiences. So that was Shiva and Shakti, both are there. Consciousness is there, also the power. Afterwards, Shankara, he explained through Maya. And here this Sri Rangam temple, Yamuna, he wanted to meet the Ramanuja, and he told that on such and such day I am going to pass, I am going to die. So please come and meet me before that. Shankara came, Ramanuja reached over there, but it was not that particular time. When he reached, he died, Yamuna died. So they were taking his dead body to burn, and Ramanuja noticed that 3 fingers are closed like this. So you will find that like this, 3 fingers were closed. He asked, what is this? Why the 3 fingers are closed like this? Then the other disciple told, it is because of the Yamuna, the great Acharya, his unfulfilled desires. What are the desires? First, to make you his disciple. Second, to ask you to take the responsibility of this temple. Third, to write a commentary on Brahma Sutra, so that the philosophy that we follow, so that the philosophy that our Guru Yamuna has introduced can be permanent. It reaches to many people. Ramanuja, before standing before that dead body, promised that I am going to keep this. I will accept your ideology, so you will be my Guru. I will accept this position of the temple. And third, I will write a commentary on the Brahma Sutra according to your philosophy. The moment he took that promise, the dead body's fingers became straight. So that is the way the thing goes. Now when we read or hear, oh, how it is possible. Everything is possible. So he accepted that, and then he left the hearth and home, took sannyasa, went and started giving the discourses in the Sri Rangam. Sri Rangam is the main temple of Ramanuja. He was there. Then in Kanjivaram, he met a great spiritual personality. His name was Periya Nambai, and he got the initiation from him. The Periya Nambai was his spiritual master, and he gave him initiation. So this is, in short, the Ramanuja's biography. Shankara, in the other way, he was not having any teacher, but he was a intellectual prodigy. When he was only 8 years old or 10 years old, he memorized all the scriptures, all the Vedas, Upanishads, and he started composing, writing his own ideas at the age of 8 or 10. And when he was only 3 years old, Shankaracharya, his father passed away, Shiva Guru. And this young boy started thinking at the age of 3, what is this? Why a man is born and then after some time he passes away? Almost the same question came in the mind of another great personality. Who is he? Buddha. So, who am I? Why I am here? After the death, where I am going to go? Ko ayam, kuto ayata, kaba gati me. This is in Sanskrit, they always ask, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? I told you, the one day I went to a gentleman's house, I was waiting in the outside room, they were preparing coffee or tea for me. Then one little girl, she was playing somewhere, she entered and saw me, and she was thinking, as because I am completely new, then she asked, who are you? Then I told, that is the answer I am trying to get, who am I? Then she went back, maybe asked, talked with others, came back with great seriousness, can't you remember your name? So who am I actually? I remember my name, I remember everything, but that is not the real identity. Who am I? So that is the question that haunted that young boy, Shankaracharya. And he wanted to get the answer of that. And he wanted to solve the mystery of death. And that is why he was going on pursuing. And afterwards he wrote, almost at the age of 8 or so, he wrote a wonderful poem, Moha Mudgara. Many of you must have heard and read that. Moha Mudgara, the shattering of the illusion. All these things that we see is nothing but the moha. So moha means illusion. And naturally, if you can break that illusion, what remains? The original. The moha mudgara. In the Vedanta, they always talk about this. In the philosophy, a little bit of that, when we will discuss, we will find that philosophy is nothing but to get back to the original source. But it is so difficult to break. That's why we need a hammer, mudgara. So we have to break. What is that hammer? Our experiences in life. Everything that I want to get, it goes away. So many things I tried to grab, nothing remained with me. And one thing goes, I go for another, I go for another, I go for another. But every time I go and then I reach over there, it moves. Just like the mirages in the desert. So that is the reason, the Moha Mudgara he wrote. And some say on the bank of the river Narmada, he also took sannyasa at that age. And you know that wonderful story. I went to Shankara's birthplace. We are all Vedantin, naturally his followers. So we went to there and we saw that river where he was bathing. And our ashrama is just adjacent to his birthplace. And that river is there, he was bathing over there, and then suddenly his mother was not, because husband gone. If the son is also going away, how the mother will stay? So mother never allowed him to take the sannyasa. She was not giving the permission. And without the permission of the mother, Shankara also never wanted to go away. Most of us, when we became sannyasi, we first went away, then we took the permission. Otherwise, it would have been so difficult. And the argument was there from some of my relatives. Shankara took the permission of his mother and then went for sannyas. You didn't take that. I told my mother is not Shankara's mother. So that is the reason first. And secondly, I don't have the capacity to show the miracles. Shankara did. So that's why, what was the miracle? When he was bathing, then suddenly one crocodile came and grabbed him. Look at it. The crocodiles are supposed to immediately eat that, whatever they like to grab. But it was the crocodile, it was holding that boy in its mouth. And Shankara was shouting, Mother, look at this. The crocodile is going to kill me. Please give me the permission. Before I die, I take sannyasa. So the atura sannyasa, the last time I am taking the sannyasa. And the mother, what to do? Because she was seeing that the son is going to die immediately. Okay, my son, you take the atura sannyasa. All this time, crocodile was listening and waiting. And the moment the mother said, I give you permission to take the sannyasa, crocodile opened his mouth and went away. And Shankara came unhurt and said, since you have given the permission and I have taken the sannyasa, I cannot enter into the house. A sannyasi is not supposed to enter into the house. So I will stay over here outside in the court here. And after a few days he said, let me go to search for my guru. Without guru, the spiritual journey is impossible. You know, the Shankara was there and Shankara knew everything. But even then he told, I have to find my guru. And he went out on the bank of the Narmada. He met a great sage. He was a philosopher and seer. His name was Gaudapada. Some of you, those who are interested in Vedanta, you know the Gaudapada. The Gauda and Pada means a respected one. His name was Gauda. And some say that he is from Bengal, the Garuda, that is the place. So from there he walked. That's why his name was Gauda Pada. He walked from that place. It is near the Malda, that place. So he went over there, and he is the supreme type of Vedantin. He said, this world does not exist at all. The Vedantin, they say, this world, and over that only the discussion, what is this world? Gaudapada, he denied. He said, nothing is there, only you are creating. All that you see, that is your creation. So that is a very, very high philosophy. Sankara went to him because he must be knowing him. And when he reached in those days, that was the system when a man could understand that I am going to die, he used to prepare himself without talking or mixing with others, meeting others. He used to meditate constantly to prepare for the death. Death is nothing but to change from this place to that place. So do we leave this body and go to some other place, some other body. But those who are knowledge that dawned within them, they don't take any human form or any form. They are merged with the supreme consciousness. That is called nirvana. So when he went over there, he met that man, but he told, no, I was waiting, but you came late. You better go to somebody else. My disciple, very famous disciple, I like him very much. From Gaudapada to Govindapada. This Govindapada, he went to meet him, and then the Govindapada initiated him. So this is the Ramanuja and Sankara. Ramanuja started his spiritual life with Advaita Vedanta, but he left that because his idea was completely different, and Sankara continued. Sankara learned from one after another experience. He met a low caste person. So let's call Chandala, those who used to work only burning the dead bodies, cleaning the things. So that type of people, that they call it Chandala. And usually in those days, now also, the Brahmins who only worship in the temple and study scripture, they don't like to touch them, all this. So Sankara, that feeling was there. So when he saw that man is coming, he said, hey, Chandala, go away. Chandala immediately told, oh Sankara, if there is only one God, how can there be many kinds of men? How can there be distinction of caste or creed? So Shankara's, this realization, his gurus were in that way coming from ordinary people, giving them awareness. So this cannot be. The Shankara immediately experienced that, and he wrote a wonderful poem that's called Manisha Panchakam. Shankara was a great writer, and many of the books that he has written are the poems that he has written. So here the Manisha Panchakam, the Panchakam means 5, and Manisha means my thought, my realization. The first one, it says, he who has learned to see the one existence everywhere. He who has learned to see the one everywhere, he is my master, he is my guru, be he Brahmin or Chandala. Is the upper caste or the lower caste, but he is my guru who has seen the Brahman, the one, the ultimate. Ramanuja's feeling for God, inside he felt, and he left the hearth and home, and he became in charge of the Srirangam, and he became famous, and he told, I believe in Brahman, but not Nirakara Brahman, Swaguna Brahma, not Nirguna Brahma. Ni means negative, Guna means quality, Brahman means consciousness. So there are two types of Brahmans are there. One with the qualities, another without any qualities. So when it is completely the consciousness is not creating or preserving or destroying or doing anything, that is called Nirguna Brahma, and that was Shankara's goal. And Ramanuja, he told no, it should be Saguna Brahma, and he gave another name of Saguna Brahma, that is Vishnu. So the Ramanuja became Vaishnava, the head of the Vaishnava cult, the Vishnu. From there comes the Vaishnava. And what is the meaning of the word Vishnu? Vistareti Vishnaha. Vistara. Vistara means everywhere. Eti Vishnu. One who is everywhere. What is that? God. And the moment you say God, so naturally creation, preservation, destruction, all sorts of things come. This is the conception of the Ramanuja. And we will touch only a few points. Shankara told knowledge, the jnana, that is the ultimate. I am thinking that I am a human being. Because of my knowledge, because of my that idea, I am a human being. I am thinking. But suppose I start thinking that I am a tree. Sometimes people, if they think like that, you will behave like that. You won't move, you won't eat, you will stand like that. I am a tree. Just conception. Then we take him to the doctors and get the, because we understand that this should not be the normal thing. But the whatever we think, that knowledge, the realization is like that. The moment you understand, oh, I am great, I should not behave like this. It should not be like this. When we joined as a sannyasi, we are supposed to give away all our ego. But one of the great Swami taught that you have to keep another type of ego, otherwise you won't be able to continue the sannyasi life. There's so many varieties of questions will come, doubts will come, convincing, the people will come and convince you in such a way that whatever you are doing, it is completely wrong, go away. So have that confidence, that a sort of ego. What is that? I belong to the lineage of Shankara, Buddha, Sri Chaitanya. So I belong to this group. Those who are wearing the Gerua cloth, and today I am also having that Gerua cloth. So I belong to that. I should not behave like this very ordinary way. Should not crave for the name, fame, money, prosperity. I should not, I should not, I should not. That goes on giving the self-suggestions, the knowledge. So the knowledge, if you think that I am a sannyasi, I should not behave like this, you can. Or otherwise, even donning a gerua, wearing a gerua, he will be behaving just like very ordinary person, constantly thinking about the name, fame, money and property. Thinking, because of his knowledge, because of his thought, because of his idea, the same person with all this behaving in a different way. So the knowledge. Shankara said, knowledge is self-luminous. To go to see the sun, you don't need another light. Oh, is that the sun? No, you cannot be. It is self-luminous. The two persons were debating at the midnight. They were fully drunk and they were telling, oh, this is the sun. It was midnight. But they saw that moon, and one person was telling, this is the sun. Another told, it cannot be. You see, all the lights are on, it must be the night. So in the night, it's not the sun, it must be the moon. And they were debating, arguing, almost fighting. Then third person came. And when they saw he is approaching, that person is coming, let us make him the judge. He will give. Whatever he says, we will believe. He came and said, will you please say, what is that? Is a moon or a sun? He was more drunk. And somehow you looked at that with all Then after observing the moon, he said, see, I am very new into this area, I don't know what is that. So moon also he could not recognize. I am new to this area, so I can't recognize that. That was the condition. Knowledge is self-luminous. You don't need anyone to talk about that. When the knowledge dawns, you can understand. Sometimes people, they ask, how I will know that I have realized God? You need not to ask. That realization will tell you, you have. So that is the idea. Sankara, beyond the relation of subject-object, the knowledge is subject and object. So I am looking at that. So here I am looking at that. This is the time, space, causation. I can see that door very clearly now, but in the night when all the lights are off, I cannot see that door also. So naturally, we need the time. So if the door is jumping here and there, I won't be able to see the space, the time, space and causation. So these are the main three things by which we get the knowledge. How we get the knowledge? Three. Time, space and causation. Space is the place, time is the time, and the cause. So that is the time, space, causation, and that is the way we should understand. Sankara said, the Atman, the Brahman is self-luminous. You need not to bother about anything to understand that. It is there. And Ramanuja said, knowledge is relative. Hence, there is distinction between subject and object. This is the main difference between Shankara and Ramanuja. When Shankara said knowledge itself is luminous, Ramanuja said no, it is relative. So when I look at a thing, I see or I feel in a different way. Somebody else in a different way. When we look at a beautiful building, a structure, we appreciate, oh, very beautiful. But the engineers, those who are working in that, immediately they will notice, oh, how they made it, what type of materials they used, whether it is going to be permanent or not, whether it is disaffected, they will think in a different way. So they don't like to see at that particular building, they like to see the drawings, always like to check the drawings on the table. Ordinary people, they will go and take the picture of that building, don't bother about the drawings. So that is the subject-object relation, and it differs. So the Ramanuja's argument is, knowledge is relative, depends on the person. So obviously there is a subject and an object. And he said, therefore there cannot be nirvikalpa samadhi. Na, ni means na, negative. Kalpa, object. So there is no object, but I am concentrating my mind on that. How it is possible? You can close your eyes for some time and try to think. There is nothing, but you are concentrating. Concentrating on what? So concentrating on some object. There is no object. So that is the reason Ramanuja was telling it is not possible. So nirvikalpa, without any object, it is not possible. So he denied that. But Shankara told nirvikalpa samadhi is the merging with the Supreme Brahman, is the goal of Shankara's philosophy. Merging with the Supreme Brahman, and they give that example like a dewdrop falling on the ocean, it becomes the ocean. Similarly, we also, when merge in that consciousness, we become consciousness ourselves. We need not to bother about what we are going to get. That question doesn't arise. Ramanuja was a bhakta, a devotee, and his philosophy is one of the devotion based, and not emotion but reasoning. That is the main thing of the Ramanuja. He was giving the reason. Ramanuja calls Shakti or power which is real and eternally coexistent with Brahman. Those who have read the biography of Sri Ramakrishna and his philosophy, you will feel that Sri Ramakrishna is also telling the same thing. He is actually the synthesis of all ideas. Sri Ramakrishna is a synthesis. He is mixing all this idea. So sometimes he is telling, Shakti ke mante hai. You must accept the power of God. If you don't do that, then it becomes limited. You are only accepting the king without his power. If the king is not having the power, then what type of king? One little girl came to me and told, can you read my palm? I told her, I'm sorry, I don't. So what type of monk you are? If you are a monk, you are supposed to read the palm. If not, then, so I thought, oh, is it? Then I have to read some books. So naturally, that is the, if you don't have the power, then what type of king you are? Only putting on all the dresses and sitting together, and then, hey, come and pay respect? No. So this is, they say, the reason should be there and then go. Ramanuja calls Shakti or power, and which is real and eternally coexistent. Only one word that differs Ramanuja's philosophy and Sankara. What is that word? Real. Sankara also accepts that power, and he gives the name Maya. That power of God is Maya, but it is not real. It is not real and not unreal also. Sankara says like that. Why it is not unreal? Because we feel it. We feel it so much. We were not knowing a small little baby before the birth. The moment the baby is born on my lap, it becomes so much for me. It was not there, now it is there. So I cannot say that it was not there. But who is this baby? I was not knowing that baby just a few hours before. So that way it is all there. Now whole mind goes over there, all my love, all my affection, all my concern. How come? So that is called, it is there because of the power of God, Maya, Sankara said. But it is impermanent. Why? When you will realize that, it will vanish. Ramanuja differs here. He said, no, it won't vanish. It will be there. So it is eternal. So God is separate. We are separate. But each and every one of us can go to God. We can realize God. That is the Ramanuja. So that differs from Madhvacharya. Madhvacharya is another name, and he is a Dvaitin, and all the Semitic religions mostly follow the Madhvacharya philosophy, completely different. One can never be that, like a servant can never become king. So this is the Madhvacharya. We are not going to discuss that. Time is also not there. So only Ramanuja, Ramanuja, that's why it said qualified monism. It is monism, it is one. All these souls that you see are all one because of that. But the God is also different. So it says, like a fire, big fire, and so many sparks are coming out. All the sparks are related with that fire because they are born from that fire, having all the properties and the qualities of that fire. But they are separated. But when these thousands of sparks, they are same because they are coming from the same source. All the sparks are same because they are coming from the same source. They have every possibility to go back to the source. That is the philosophy of Ramanuja. Vishishta Advaita. Vishishta special. Advaita one. There is no two. That is called Ramanuja. It is called qualified monism. And Shankara's monism is explain this world is the handiwork of Maya. Shankara said. The Maya has created this, which is neither real nor unreal. It's very difficult to explain Maya. But friends, why we are discussing this? Because this is the philosophy. In the philosophical line, two things you must have to explain: the creator and the creation. And the third, what is the relation between this creator and the creation? Now, Ramanuja and Shankara both are accepting the Brahman. Brahman is the creator. That is there. But Ramanuja's Brahman and Shankara's Brahman are a little different. Shankara's Brahman completely nirakara. It does nothing. Then who is creating? Then Shankara says the consciousness reflected on Maya, it becomes Ishvara or God. Same consciousness reflected on Maya become Ishvara or God, and he is doing it. Sometimes a person standing over there with a dress, uniform, a police officer, and when he says, "Hey, stop," we stop our car. Show your identity, we show the identity. Why? Who is this man? At the back, government is there. Whole government is with the back, at his back. So that's why this man, when he is working, he is not alone. Whole government is there. If you go and it's a lone man and say, of course, here all the police are very strong. But sometimes in our country there are police so you can go and give a blow and go away and all that. Then you will come to know that he is a police and all the people are coming. I never knew that you are a police. You should have said that. How to know? But anyway, it goes like that. One man empowered to do that. Ishvara is that empowering on behalf of the consciousness. He is empowered by the consciousness. So it says superimpose consciousness, superimpose on Maya. What is that Maya? Maya is the power of God. It is with Brahman, it is with God eternally. So that is called the Shankara's philosophy. So how this world was created? From Brahman. Method, he was giving the empowerment to someone else who is Ishvara, and that Ishvara is creating this world. That God is not doing anything. Brahman is not doing anything. And Ramanuja says, when that particular consciousness empowered by the Brahman, it is Brahman. So Saguna Brahman. The Brahman has become endowed with all these qualities, he is doing it. Shankara's argument, if anyone is doing anything, so obviously it is limited. It is not unlimited, it is limited. Naturally, if you think that this is limited, it is going to end. Ramanuja said, no, it is eternal, it will remain eternal, but at the same time, it can create, it can sustain, it can destroy. So he said, it is not ordinary, just consciousness, it is a personality, Vishnu. Shankha Chakra Gada Padmadhari, the Lord Vishnu. That is the introduction of the Ramanuja. Lord Vishnu conception was there, but he introduced Lord Vishnu as the Brahman, Swaguna Brahma, who is creating, preserving and destroying. So if you want to get peace in this life, You have to call on Vishnu, accept Vishnu Bhagavan, and then through your devotion you can reach over there. And Sankara said, Shastra, scripture. Scripture says this. Then, after reading that, you should develop your own discriminative capacity, yukti. One is Shastra, another is yukti, and only yukti won't do. Anubhuti. And after the anubhuti, that comes the karma. Through the karma you are doing this. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he said, some people, they heard about milk. And some people saw milk. And some people, they drank milk and became strong. So that is the realization. Unless and until you are realizing the anubhuti, Swami Vivekananda, he said, religion is realization. Religion is realization. Unless and until you realize yourself the God, that you are only a follower, you are only a student, you are only trying to know. Unless and until you completely realize that. So the Sankara says, don't believe on the words of the scripture, but you have to take that scripture, otherwise how will you get the knowledge? So first is the Shastra, the scripture. But after reading that, you should apply your own mind, your own brain. That is yukti. Why is this like that? This Brahman is like this. If the Brahman is everywhere, how all these things came? He says the Maya projecting on the consciousness, then it becomes the Ishvara, then the Ishvara becoming this. That is the whole system coming down in the Shamka philosophy. They gives the 24 steps, then only this world is created, and then I am here, then I am fighting, crying, enjoying, all these things are going on. So this is the, you have to discriminate. That's why the knowledge is not for all. In the Bhagavad Gita also it says it is very difficult. Not all people can. So then it comes the devotion. You need not to bother so much. When Narendranath coming to Sri Ramakrishna is asking him to read the Vedantic books. I am Brahman, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. And Vivekananda, young Narendranath, he was not ready to accept that. He told, this is blasphemy. He is going against God. I am committing so many mistakes. And how can you say that I am God? No, I should not say that. Then Sri Ramakrishna was a great master. So he said, okay, you need not to bother about that. You read that book for me. That the book, containing that argument, then he was reading, Vivekananda was reading, and naturally he was imbibing those things. Afterwards, he realized that and he became a Vedantin. And you know the wonderful lecture that he has given on Jnana Yoga. If possible, please go through the pages of Jnana Yoga. Swami Vivekananda's explanation, wonderful explanation. So that yukti is necessary. After the yukti, the discrimination, then anubhuti. Once the anubhuti comes, then you are convinced. No one can change you. Even if the God comes and say, oh no, that is not, no, I know it very well. So that realization is very, very necessary. When you go to a place, see that place and come back and report, that will be completely different than if you read from the book. Have you seen that in the, oh, it is not, already time is over. So this is, you have seen the airport. I was sitting over there and observing that advertisement is coming. This is summer time. You have the vacation. Come over here. You will do this, you will do that, and so many things. You feel like going over there. But after going over there, you will find, oh, there's so, all these things are there. Whatever they were showing in the picture, it is not all are there. So naturally, when you feel that we will go and will surfing on the water and playing in the golf. You cannot do everything. So naturally, you feel, oh, I have come. But so experience is totally different, and going back and telling. So sometimes people, they write about the hotels, the restaurants, the great restaurant, this food, that food. And then we observe that nowadays that is the norm. You have to go and see, say, 5-star restaurant, a 4.5 star. Somebody forgot to give another. So 4.5. So you go. Then afterwards, I showed him that it is so dirty. The fork and the spoon, they don't clean properly. So naturally, if you go, if you experience, it may be different. Anubhuti, but to do that anubhuti, what? Karma. And what is that karma? Go to a teacher, learn from him, and then to sit quietly and ponder over that, meditate over that teaching. What he taught me, is it good for me? Can I do it? How can I do it? All this. Then when you are convinced, vichara, sadhu sangha, nirjanvash, vichara, and then prayer, you are convinced that it is possible, then jump in that. So friends, that is in very, very brief, these great two sages, great two minds, and for hundreds and hundreds of years, they are ruling the philosophical world of our great country, India. And those all over the world, the students of philosophy, they always wonder how they have established this. Both of them are so strong in establishing and giving the argument. So Brahman is there, and Brahman with quality, without quality. So this is the main two differences. Thank you for coming. Next time, when you get the opportunity, we will discuss in details about the Vedanta. As we are in this class, the Saga of the Soul, we are studying the philosophies. We will come to Vedanta. In the Vedanta, Sankara is there, Ramanuja is there, Madhava is there. So obviously, we will have everything in details. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. These two great teachers, both are from South India, and they must have tasted and liked idlis and doshas. So I was requesting our devotee to bring some idli for all of you. Of course, not only idli, other things will be there. So please go and enjoy, and when you are biting, think Brahman without epithet or Brahman with.